I never imagined that HOA Karen attempting to steal my ranch would escalate into one of the most intense and cunning confrontations of my life, but it all began one crisp morning when she showed up at the perimeter of my property, claiming she had discovered a loophole in the HOA rules that supposedly allowed her to claim ownership over a portion of my land, and she began taking measurements, photographing the area, and marking boundaries with stakes while insisting that I had no legal right to question her authority, and I immediately began documenting every step with my phone, narrating her actions and statements while also reviewing my deeds, surveys, and permits, all of which clearly established my ownership. And when I calmly approached her to ask for her documentation or proof of any legal authority, she waved me off and continued working as if I were invisible, attempting to stake claims on my land under the guise of community enforcement, and knowing that any unauthorized action could escalate into property theft or fraud. I called 911 to report trespassing and potential interference with private property, while also setting up my security cameras to record all movements, ensuring that any future disputes would have indisputable evidence. And as Karen tried to argue that the HOA allowed her certain rights to enforce property standards, I presented my deeds, prior county-approved surveys, and historical photographs of fences, boundaries, and buildings, demonstrating that no portion of the land could legally be claimed by her or the HOA, and neighbors began gathering at a safe distance, recording the encounter and expressing disbelief at her audacity, while Karen grew increasingly flustered, pacing and muttering threats about fines, complaints, and legal action, all of which I continued documenting in real time, and within minutes, deputies arrived after my call, observing her on my property attempting to enforce imaginary rules, and after reviewing my documentation, footage, and affidavits from witnesses who had seen her trespassing repeatedly over the previous weeks, the officers informed her that she had no legal authority to seize or claim any portion of my ranch, that further attempts could result in immediate arrest and federal charges if fraud or misrepresentation of government filings occurred, and they formally cited her for trespassing and interference, escorting her off the property while warning her that any future attempts would result in severe legal consequences, leaving her visibly defeated, muttering excuses, and realizing that her audacity had been fully recorded and legally countered. And I later submitted all evidence, including video footage, photographs, witness statements, and detailed timelines to the HOA board, county authorities, and legal counsel, which led to her immediate removal from any HOA enforcement role, a formal reprimand, and a written notice restricting her access to any resident's property, while the community circulated the story and videos widely, establishing a clear example of the limits of HOA authority, the importance of meticulous documentation, and the absolute protection of private property, leaving me fully vindicated, my ranch secure, and HOA Karen's credibility and influence completely destroyed, while proving to the neighborhood that preparation, legal knowledge, and calm assertiveness are the ultimate defenses against reckless overreach and attempts at property theft.